Welcome to DC2B Revolution, helping chiropractic students think big in order to live large. I'm your host, Noah Volz, and today I'm here with Dr. Ankur Prakash. He has been actively fulfilling his sole purpose by creating solutions for people at his Living Well Balanced centers located in both New York and North Carolina. In addition to offering excellent care at his different centers, he's also expressing his passion for entrepreneurship as Chief Medical Officer of PerformStretch. I really wanted to get you on the show today because Garrett Gunderson told a story about how you just accelerated your success in a really short amount of time. So really excited for you to share with students. Thank you so much for being here.
Dude, you're very welcome, man. Thanks for having me. It's an honor. It's an honor. By the way, Garrett's way too humble, man. He thinks it's all me, but he did a huge part of that. So I appreciate him all the time.
Yeah, well, I was looking at your bio. You did a really nice thing that I hadn't seen on a lot of other bios. You really put it out there, like Wealth Factory, other mastermind groups, other programs that you're a part of, and really kind of, in a way spoke to that. I didn't do this on my own. Like I had coaching, I had mentorship, I had assistance all the way through. Can you talk a little bit about your process and how you realized that was necessary for you, and then how you kind of got through the roadblocks to get to where you are now? And
absolutely.
You are now. Talk about your centers too.
Yeah, dude, that's a pretty awesome question. All right, so here, let me start with this, because I remember since you mentioned Garrett, I'll drop his name for a second, but he just said, hey, successful people are just dumb enough and stupid enough to follow what all the successful people did before them. So I'll tell you now, I am not good at inventing the wheel, and all I'm good at is taking from people who have done some serious, awesome fulfillment in society. And so when I list that on my bio, I've always played homage and just kind of expressed my gratitude. It's one of my core values to companies. Yeah, obviously, I got to give a shout out to my wife. Of course, she's number one. But, like the companies, the consulting firms, the seminars. I mean, if we want to go into answering that question, I mean, I didn't choose chiropractic. Chiropractic definitely chose me. And that was just like how my website says, like it was like a parents' weekend at SUNY Binghamton, and my roommate's dad was like, hey, have you ever thought of chiropractic? I'm like, I have no idea what that is. Keep talking. So it literally started there that I'm like, all right, I bought the philosophy hook, line, and sinker. So I'm a young kid. I'm 18 years old. I'm in undergrad. Let me invest all my free time, whatever that is, outside of partying and girls and studying, to like being around chiropractors. So I worked for a chiropractor for 3 years in undergrad and literally did everything. I was just telling someone that today that she had me do everything but adjust. Like that's it. Like I did all of that stuff. I did that for 3 years. Then I went to Life West for 4 years. Most of the time, probably 3.5 years, I worked for another chiropractor in Hayward over at Atlas Chiropractic. And like, again, just those 6 years under my belt before I had a license and, student loans. It was awesome. Like it was awesome. So to keep going on with answering that question, I had gotten so much out of those 6 years, and the two bosses that I had, they invested right back in me because I put everything into their companies. They took me to seminars. They enrolled me in CA programs, things. Even one of them was all about billing insurance. So they taught me all that stuff. One of them even taught me about taxes and corporate structuring and all that. So when I graduated, I'm like, yo, dude, I've got plenty of knowledge. Not that I have enough, but enough to start out on my own. So I started out from scratch in New York. And I joined with the Master Circle, if it's all right to drop some names. But I was with Bob Hoffman, Dennis Perman from 2005 to 2010-ish, maybe give or take. And, I always attribute Bob and Dennis of teaching me how to walk, right? Like I was like this little chiropractic infant. One of their coaches at the time said that, hey, you've done a great job with a good volume in your practice, but you're working your butt off and making very little money. It's kind of like, he gave me that analogy. you ever eat soup with a fork? And I had to sit there.
I haven't tried.
Like, dude, try it. And that analogy worked. It totally paralleled my first year in chiropractic practice. I mean, gung-ho. I broke triple digits a week within 2-3 weeks in practice. And it was literally like it was nonstop. I was always hungry because could never fill up my plate or my mouth with a fork. So yeah, these guys literally taught me how to run a chiropractic office like a business. And as much as I thought I learned, not just from chiropractic school, but attending seminars and working for those 2 chiropractors, like I needed a lot to learn myself. So Master Circle for 5-ish years. And then I met, actually I didn't even meet Garrett Gunderson. I did what you just told me before we went live. Like I read his book, and it was given to me by one of my employees. And I remember what she wrote in the inside. She's like, hey, this is for you, my boss, my friend. This is to help you turn your financial pyramid right side up. And I had no idea what she was talking about until I read that book. And I'm like, damn, I am definitely not good at these myths, these sacred cows, and they need to be killed. So I jumped on board with Garrett's program. At that time, it was called Freedom Fast Track. I bought the biggest, whatever, highest tier package because I wanted to jump all in, as you already know, my approach to things. And that's what I did, man. I'm like, all right, dude, I'm like the first Indian in this program. I'm going to be his poster child. Went through all 3 of those tracks, rocked it, killed it. Literally went from like, you know, even though my volume kind of stayed the same, this wasn't like a chiropractic coaching program. This was more of like, hey, dude, you're giving a lot and you got to receive. There's an infinite pie, not a finite pie, but like you have to kind of, there has to be like this give and take relationship. And I've been giving a lot. So my debt went down dramatically. Even though my volume was the same, I knew how to restructure employee arrangements and agreements to kind of make my business profitable, which was something like, oh yeah, that's right. I forgot I got to make a profit instead of just paying bills. And you use the word about soul purpose. You know, that was a new concept to me too, right? I'm like soul purpose, like soul, like just one purpose. It's like, no, dude, soul, like you've got all these unique talents, abilities, and skills. You know all these different ways to express them, but I'm telling you, you weren't born to be just a chiropractor. And that rocked my world. Like I thought I was. Like I hung out with the late Reggie Gold so many times. I had so many speakers that I organized at seminars at Life West. And I literally thought that, dude, my purpose in life was to be a chiropractor. And that changed when I met Garrett, because when I was going through a lot of his exercises and programs and events, I'm like, yeah, my sole purpose is really to create natural solutions for people. And granted, I'm not going to be doing a whole bunch of stuff, but like, I don't have to be the adjuster. I don't have to be the hands-on chiropractor to help create natural solutions for people, right? I can structure my business and organize it in a way that like, hey, let me train and educate and inspire other people under my purpose and let them take care of my business so that I can fulfill other stuff. And so, of course, 3 years now, I've lived in Raleigh. I've lived 500 miles south of my primary practice. I guess you can call my New York office an owner absentee, right? I'm not there. I'm only there 2 days a month just to give hugs, say hi, kiss people, tell them how much I love them and miss them. And yeah, we opened up Raleigh 7 months ago. 7 months. We opened up the exact same Living Well Balanced in Raleigh. And now the PerformStretch actually opens up not tomorrow, but next Saturday. Next Saturday. And the list goes on, dude. Say it again?
I said that's perfect timing. I mean, you just keep building that momentum.
Yeah, we're, I mean, I've got other, and it's funny, other things that I've heard about like, how do I express my sole purpose? I'm like, well, it's definitely delivering, creating offices where we create customized healthcare programs. And of course, chiropractic is the main director of those offices. But chiropractic is not the only service. There's massage, there's personal training, there's yoga, in the Raleigh office, we've got esthetician services, we've got cryotherapy, all these things where, it used to be where people just go to a chiropractor and then they get exposed to all this stuff. But we have totally turned that funnel upside down. So we bring people in for massage therapy. My massage therapists are so aligned with chiropractic philosophy, above, down, inside out. They know that, like, hey, Doc, we can massage your muscles all day, every week. But the last time we checked, nerves tell the muscles what to do. So if your nervous system is not good, this ain't going to go long term. So same thing with the personal trainers, same thing with the nutritionist. It's all kind of centered around those chiropractic vitalistic principles that, of course, Noah, you're exposed to at Life West. So,
yeah, thank you so much for sharing your story and kind of sharing that trajectory, because I know Garrett was really impressed with you when I talked to him, just at like how you made a decision that you weren't going to be like every other chiropractor that's out there. You made a decision that your sole purpose was to reach the most number of people. And one thing that I really gleaned from the Living Well Balanced website is that you really seem to have a focus on customer service, or like you talked about with these customized care plans, really like offering, because there's plenty of centers out there offering all these different services, but I get the impression that you do it differently. Could you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, sure, man. So here's where that all started. That one of the seminars that I went to with the Master Circle, there's a guy named Joseph Minelli. If any of the viewers here have read any of his stuff, read The Gold Standard. It's a book about the Ritz-Carlton experience, the Ritz-Carlton experience, and then at any given time, and when that book came out, Ritz-Carlton was 90% booked all across the world, and they were 90% booked with the same repeat customers, just like Starbucks, right? That stat that says that the average Starbucks person goes like 18 or 20 times a month. Ritz-Carlton was the same thing, and I read that book and I heard him speak, and I said, I've got to make my office the best part of people's day or week or however often they come. Like, everyone knows that when they come into a chiropractor's office, they leave way better than when they were when they first came in. But like that doesn't I don't sell a service. I'm definitely not selling. I mean, I sell products, but I don't sell a product. I don't sell a service. I sell the experience. And we make sure that people know that, maybe not from the website, maybe not from our Facebook page. I mean, that's hard to sell. But we literally, when people come in here, they know that this is a relationship-based office. This isn't about transactions, transactional care. We make them feel like they're family and that this is going to be the best thing that they've done and will do for the rest of their life. And so all of our services, if I had to center them, if I had to kind of take a glue of what kind of glues all of us together, it's not necessarily chiropractic. It's the fact that the power that made the body heals the body, right? And we call that above, down, inside out, innate intelligence. It's the fact that we have a lot of stress in our world today. And it doesn't matter whether you live in Grand Cayman at the Ritz-Carlton or whether you're in New York, or Raleigh, North Carolina, or Hayward, California. You've got stress, and technology isn't helping, right? We think it's helping because it simplifies and streamlines things like this. Like, this is awesome that we can do this with technology, but dude, it's just a constant inundation of stress, and it's chronic, and it's long-term, and it's, our bodies aren't designed for that. So my company philosophy, and we changed this recently, maybe in the last 6 years, is that, hey, everyone's got stress. It doesn't matter whether you're black or white, old, young, infant, toddler, in pain or not in pain, symptom or asymptomatic. You deserve to have a body that can handle, adapt, and kind of respond to stress appropriately. We've got all these services that can help you. I hope you weren't looking for easy answers.
No, never. I don't like the easy answers. I appreciate that. And I now that I remember that Garrett even said that about how you modeled everything after the Ritz-Carlton. And I just thought that was such a brilliant idea, because I feel like the really highly successful chiropractic offices are the one that take customer service to a whole new level. And like you said, your family when you come in, it's like like seeing your old friends, and you want to go to the chiropractor as opposed to needing to go to the chiropractor, and that, that's a big change in people's consciousness.
And I let them know that, hey, this office isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. And even just yesterday when I signed up someone at her report of findings, she was asking, like, all right, this is going to be a lot for me. I'm used to only getting adjusted once a month. I'm like, yeah, that hasn't worked for you. So once a week has to be minimum. She said, how long does an adjustment take? I said, well, I don't know. Some people are here for 3 minutes. Some people are here for 5. Some people are here for 30. Not because I need 30 minutes to adjust them, it's because they don't want to leave. They want to hang out in our rest and relaxation room. They want to talk to my front desk. They want to have a glass of wine, cup of coffee. So I don't know how long you're going to stay here, but you're not paying for the adjustment. You're paying for the experience.
Yeah, brilliant. I'm ready to do a virtual tour of your office right now. I'm like, where's the wine? What does he need? What's going on?
I've got a VIP room. I've got, so people can do all natural, all organic hookah. They've got bourbon wine. Of course, we don't serve that at 9 a.m., but like if people want it in the evening, they can have it. We don't obviously charge for it. We've got like a massage chair that they can chill in. Again, just kind of let them know that, you don't have to just come in and leave. You can actually stay a while.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And I think that really speaks to, kind of what you said, like your passion for entrepreneurship. Like as you've said multiple times throughout this interview, you're so proactive, you're so engaged, it feels to me like you're always looking for the next thing that you can do to make the experience better for people. So let's talk a little bit about your philosophy on entrepreneurship. As a chiropractic student, like, what does it mean to be an entrepreneur, and how do most entrepreneurs really really succeed in doing that? Okay,
yeah, sure. All right, so there's 2 types. There's entrepreneurs and there's intrapreneurs. So even though I've got 13 employees in New York, I've got 5 employees here in my Raleigh office, I don't consider them employees. I definitely don't call them staff. It just sounds like an infection. Like they are owners of my company. Even though on paper I'm 100% owner, I treat them as if this is their company. And of course, you got to hire. There's a whole other thing I could do about hiring an A team. But in terms of entrepreneurship, first of all, like one of my biggest philosophies is that I trade at shoulder level with everyone in my office. So, it's not like, hey, doctor's here, CA's here, or doctor's here, massage therapist is here. Like, I don't have that type of hierarchy. Yes, I sign their paychecks, and yes, I have the ability to hire and fire, but we do things as a team. It's a very, very team-driven environment, and that level of entrepreneurship is kind of the same thing as healthcare, right? Like, I love getting adjusted, but getting adjusted is not all I do. I have a huge team on my wellness board of directors. I've got massage therapy, nutritional supplements, I've got trainers, and all that other stuff. So entrepreneurship, other things about it, you got to constantly learn, man. As soon as you say to yourself, oh, I know this, so I know everything, now you're done. You're toast. Like, you can't say you know everything, so you've got to always surround yourself with, whether it's seminars that you go to or whether it's books that you read. So I've got, a huge thing of books that, I'm not like your hardcore CEOs that read, 10 books a month. I read like 1. At the most, but like 5 or 6 books throughout the year, and I'm like writing notes from them. I'm getting stuff out of them. I'm also in a weekly accountability group with 5 other chiropractors every week, Wednesday morning from 5 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. I'd say without fail, you got to show up, but I've missed a few here and there. But yeah, so I that's another thing with entrepreneurship is you gotta have a group that holds you accountable. And I've been in this group, and it's been the same 6 chiropractors since 2011. So we've been going pretty strong. So treating your team like intrapreneurs, like as if they own the company, is one answer to that question. Number 2 is always investing in education. You have to constantly invest in education, whether it's seminars or books, webinars like this, whatever you think. 3 is, what was the third one that I said? There's books, seminars. Oh, having a group, accountability group, right? That always helps because now you're starting to trade secrets or, hey, what are your best practices on new patient procedures or day 2 visits, or hey, how's your office Selby experience? Share, spend 5 to 7 minutes talking about that. And we always share all of our opportunities, and then we also share our obstacles. So that way we all kind of learn from our experiences. So that's number 3. Number 4, I would probably say entrepreneurship. I would say playtime, right? Like right now, I opened up Raleigh 6 months ago. Like I am working my butt off, hence why it took me forever to get in your schedule. That's just something that I'm totally cool with. But the 3 years prior to that, dude, there were days where I had tech-free days. No technology on Tuesdays, no technology on Sundays. You could not reach me. My phone was always turned off unless I saw my parents calling or my wife. I made sure to have, my productivity days, my buffer days, and then my free days. Those are free days that like I can do whatever I want. And that's why in my bio you see like I garden, like raise chickens, dogs, and Garrett makes fun of me on that part. But there are Indian farmers in the world. So yeah, I'd say those are my top 4 things about entrepreneurship.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I really, I've always thought about a chiropractic office, the ones that really seem to work well as a team, and I've often thought as the owner or the chiropractor kind of the coach of that team, because the coach's ultimate goal is to make all the players of the team better and to see each of those players succeed in each of their individual roles. I mean, that's what the coach wants, and that's where the coach puts their energy. And so, so I just thought it was really cool to hear that you think of your staff as a team in that way.
Yeah, and even like expand on that for a second. Like, look, I am ultimately the responsible person for the rise and fall of this company. Ultimately, when push comes to shove, it's me. But like, if there's an employee that's got another, that they feel like the energy is low, or hey, a lot of people are complaining today, I give that employee full permission to raise their standards, raise their energy, raise their vibrations. So that way they are in charge of changing the atmosphere around them. So yeah, it's not just the owner. It's you got to let the team know that, hey, you actually have responsibility in this too. So.
Yeah, and just that little example speaks to your leadership acumen. Like that ability of communicate with that person that you are a proactive person who's making the decisions here. I'm here to support you. If you want to make the choice to raise your energy up so that the rest of the team can jive with you and we can work together and make things run smoother, then we're all for it. But ultimately, you have to make that decision. I'm not going to strong arm you into doing anything. Yeah. So just speaks to your leadership. And you mentioned this new company that you just started. I know that you're launching next Saturday. Can you kind of give us a sneak peek into what's happening there with PerformStretch?
Yeah, sure, man. I'd love to. So one of my practice members, and we call them practice members, not patients, but he signed up for chiropractic, massage, and stretching. And one of the services that we've done now for several years in our office is like literally just you lay on the table and we are going to stretch you. So it's not active stretching. It's not teaching you how to stretch. People can do that online. They don't need to pay us to do that. So it's passive stretching or assisted stretching. He came out of his first stretching session. I'm like, dude, what was that? I've never had that. And that's not just a 5-minute post-workout stretch by a trainer. That's a 30-minute stretch. Weeks later, he gets inspired. He's like, hey, let's go into business together. And he's got that CEO mentality. Not that I don't, but he's got that big picture CEO mentality. And he was like, let's take your stretching protocols that Living Well Balanced has done. Let's just lock it in, seal it, deliver it, and make it mobile. So instead of just promoting stretching in your office, which of course we always will do, let's make it in-house or in your gym high-end service, especially in the Raleigh area, and let's bring stretching to you. So we've got our express 30-minute stretch, or we have our full body 60-minute stretch. So we just finished the website, we finished the app, we finished, I mean, it looks badass, it looks really cool. So he's majority ownership, but I get to be the one that kind of gets the medical, clinical, therapeutic side of stretching, because the last thing I want is just, you know, people just doing generic stretching. It's got to be customized. It's got to be unique, so people feel like, whoa, this person did their homework about me. So.
Yeah, I think you're really onto something. I mean, I'm in chiropractic school now, but before that, I was a massage therapist, and I work for a company here in the Bay Area called Zeal that basically does that exact same thing with massage. And Zeal pays me so well. It's really hard to warrant working for anybody else. I mean, they've done a really great job of creating a service that's really compelling as a massage therapist. So yeah, I think your idea is brilliant, and I'm excited to see that succeed. You know.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Cool. Appreciate
it. So, you know, I guess the last thing here is, I know that students are going to have more questions that I didn't ask. Other chiropractors are going to want to follow in your footsteps. You know, what is the best way for people to learn more about what you're doing? You know, stay abreast with, you know, everything that you're up to these days.
Sure. So on a Facebook wise, definitely, if you go to either facebook.com/Living Well Balanced or Living Well Balanced NC, you'll obviously stay abreast of what we're doing in New York and Raleigh. Same thing with /PerformStretch. In terms of personally, here's my 2 solutions. One, come shadow me. Like this is my 14th year in practice, right? Just celebrated my 13th anniversary. So I've had numerous students over the decade plus to hang out with me. If they want to stay at my place, they can do that too. Most of the time it's for like a day or a morning shift, or even for whatever they want to give, I'll totally support them. So that's probably number one, is just kind of reach out to me via email. Do not Facebook me on my personal page. I go to it like twice a year. So just, you can stalk me because my wife tags me on all these events. So, but I'm not a big Facebook guy except for my businesses. Dr. Ankur, DRANKUR @livingwb.com. It's the best way to reach me is email. And of course, you can call the office, leave it on the fan page, any messages, I'll check them.
Awesome. Yeah, really, really appreciate the value that you offered today. Really appreciate your approach to leadership, your approach to entrepreneurship, your commitment to really providing as much value as you possibly can to your practice members. Yeah, it's been really great getting to know you better and just kind of seeing where you're going with things. So thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, no, and again, thank you for having this platform and being a part of this. This is huge. This is huge.
So this has been a production of DC to Be Revolution, helping chiropractic students think big in order to live large. If you like this video, please let us know by subscribing to the channel or leaving some comments in the comment section below. Always love hearing from people and you know, getting to know what was really on their mind and what they want to see in terms of the DC to Be Revolution.